Martha Graham's iconic modern dance, Appalachian Spring, was commissioned by and first performed at the Library of Congress. That the dancers of the American Ballet Theater made a cookbook while they were on strike so they could earn money and get them better working conditions. That the Lion King choreographer Garth Fagan danced at Fidel Castro's inauguration. These facts and many others came to light as my Modern Dance 2 and 3 class embarked upon their projects at the Library of Congress. Although modern dance is a technique class in which we dance every day, it has turned out to be the perfect class for this project. The students' trepidation about doing research turned into confidence in their own choices and decisions, which not only makes them better students, but it makes them better dancers as well. The original assignment looked something like this, and the requirements for this project included the selection of a research topic that just had to be related to something about dance, the development of research questions, at least one visit to the Library of Congress, reflections on their visits and research process, and a final presentation of the research and the sources they found at the library, and the making of an original dance about their experience. The dancers chose topics ranging from how choreographers developed their own dance techniques to Native American dance and the ghost dance in particular, to dance therapy, especially for older people, to what we can learn from dance photographs. Armed with the many questions they had about their topics, we all first visited the library at Montgomery College, and one of my colleagues, one of my fellows of this, gave a wonderful presentation about research tools. The students then spent a good bit of time on the Library of Congress website, and we did get them to order their reader cards. So on the day that we came to the Library of Congress, we started at the reader registration room, and everyone was amazed that they had their picture taken and their library card in their hand in no time at all. And so the class was very thrilled about their in-person visit because it was a first for most of them. In fact, they were so excited, they danced for joy. So we had the meet me at the fountain was the password for that day, and we all hooked up with each other then. I'd like to share with you some quotes that they wrote in their papers. Kathleen said, "I found the experience to be enriching and thought-provoking." Erica said, "I thought the library was going to be boring. But after viewing the different sections of the library, I'm really interested in going back." Nana said, "The main reading room was simply astounding. The marble everywhere and the detailed ceiling made me feel like a kid in some type of fiction book." In spite of the fire drill that kept us out on the sidewalk for nearly an hour, their excitement continued when we entered the performing arts reading room. And you can see there a catalog of the many wonderful dance items that are in the collection in the Performing Arts Reading Room. Dr. Libby Smeagol made 8 friends for life with her openness and her accessibility. I sent her the student topics in advance so that when we visited, each student was delighted that she had pulled items that addressed each of their topics. So those are some of the things that she laid out for us. Several students visited the library more than once, and they all used the website and online resources extensively. One student commented that seeing the items online and seeing them in person, actually touching them, were very different experiences. She said, "It was an amazing experience to be able to touch the photographs. Being able to shuffle through the original works was a completely different experience from scrolling through pages on the website. When I touched the photo, I got a sense of connection to the movement and to the person in the movement. They all agreed that opening a box and discovering what was inside was like a treasure hunt. Jan says, "The hardest part was waiting for the box to suddenly appear on my table." The presentations of their research were lively and thought-provoking. Using PowerPoint or Prezis, they showed selected items that supported and embellished their topics. They were asked to include an anecdote from their research and an interactive segment that the whole class could get up and experience in movement. For example, the student with the topic of dance photography asked each student to choose a photo and make a short movement phrase. Here you can see them with their poses and the photos that inspired them. The final activity of this project was for each student to make a dance about the experience and the results of their research. Jan, whose project was about dance photography, will give you some insight as to how one dances about research. She says, "Simply from viewing these images, I had the great urge to start dancing. I started to make up phrases of movement in my head, and I wanted to copy and paste the photos into a dance that was something completely my own. I have 3 brief examples of the dances my students made about their research. The first one is Layla, whose research on African and Caribbean dance led her to Catherine Dunham. The next one is Nana, who looked at the dance techniques developed by Eric Hawkins and Pearl Primus. So this final one is Cassie, whose study of Afro-Caribbean dance and its influence on modern dance led her to discover something about her own roots. So if we didn't know it before we visited the Library of Congress, it became clear to us that, as dancer, choreographer, and anthropologist Pearl Primus once said, "Dance is strong magic." Thank you.